IFP President Velenkosini Hlabisa says that they're not intimidated by the EFF's decision to dissolve their coalition agreement. The IFP controls 29 of 54 municipalities in KwaZulu-Natal, 8 with the help from the EFF. At the weekend, EFF leader Julius Malema said that the party had resolved to support all motions of no confidence in IFP mayors where they govern. Malema instructed members who are deputy mayors in IFP-led municipalities to resign with immediate effect. This follows the EFF's new working arrangement with the ANC that resulted in a minority party, Al Jama'ah, receiving a mayoral position in the city of Johannesburg. But the IFP says that it will not enter into what it's called an unholy marriage of convenience, fanned by corruption. The IFP confirmed that it will not form a coalition with a party that would work with the ANC. Well, let's now speak with the IFP President, Velenkosini Hlabisa. Thank you so much indeed for joining us, Mr. Hlabisa. Did you see this coming?
Good evening, Peter Ndoro, as well as the viewers of SABC. We were expecting anything because the coalition is like a marriage. You need to work on it to succeed. We were aware that the advent of coalition is new in South Africa and there will be challenges. And we are ready for the challenge that we are going through. And it is a learning curve as we are preparing for the 2024 elections and the years beyond.
So where does that leave the municipalities that you were leading and running without this coalition?
The termination of the relationship between the IFP and the EFF has no significant effect on the municipalities we govern. As we stated during the day in the briefing with the media, there is this saying that we are going to lose 13 municipalities. I want to assure you, Peter Ndoro, and the people of South Africa and KwaZulu-Natal, we are not going to lose 13 municipalities. And if we do, it will be only 2 municipalities, Lingana and KwaMaphumulo. And even in those 2 municipalities, we have done a good groundwork in one of them, and we are likely not to lose it. And we are doing the last groundwork on the other one, and we may not end up losing anyone amongst the 29 municipalities we govern. You see the thing, Mr. Ndoro, the people of KwaZulu-Natal, even the ANC councillors in the municipalities where we govern, have expressed that they don't want to go back to be governed by the ANC because they know the rot which was happening in these municipalities, and the IFP brought such rot to an end. So in short, we are not stressed, we are not panicking, we are in charge of the 29 municipalities, and we are likely to remain in control because we have consolidated with other smaller parties who are part of the coalition, and there are new partners among the smaller parties who have agreed to join the IFP because in comparison, they prefer the governance by the IFP compared to an ANC-led coalition together with the EFF because of the history. The ANC has killed our country. They have destroyed anything that we can be proud of. We are living in a load shedding which has destroyed the economy. It places our people at a difficult risk at night when it is load shedding. It all happens under the ANC. Any political party that will get into a relationship with the ANC will face a harsh judgment in 2024 from the voters. And lastly, Mr. Ndoro, I'm sure people got it right. The EFF made unreasonable demands. They wanted us to hand over Hlabisa to the EFF. We said we cannot betray the voters who voted the IFP and hand them over to a party they did not vote. So we said under no circumstances we will give them Hlabisa. And secondly, they said you must join the EFF and ANC, Ekurhuleni, COJ, and they will give the IFP a mayoral position at Mohale City. We said we don't want a token mayoral position that will be abused and manipulated by the ANC. What we saw on Friday at COJ, a mayor with 3 councillors from Al-Jama'ah is a token mayor at COJ, whether temporal or whatever period, but is a token. He is going to be manipulated by ANC and EFF because with 3 councillors, what are you going to do and say you lead the council except you are a joke, a token mayor that is exposed to the manipulation and abuse by the 2 powers in politics, ANC and EFF. We have principles. You cannot attract us with positions that are empty at the expense of manipulating the council, and people will never benefit in what we see at COJ, and we are not going to be part of that.
All right, so lessons learned. How can coalitions be shored up so that there isn't so much instability going forward? Because it does seem this is the new way now. We're going to see coalitions for a good number of years to come.
Mr. Ndoro, in November, myself, ANC, EFF, DA, Action SA, UDM, we were in Denmark for 2 weeks where we were learning good practice on coalition, because Denmark is one of the countries with the longest history of ruling through coalition. Coalition is still new in South Africa. We are going to adapt. Many political parties are going to rise to the occasion and refuse to be used in the name of coalition and maintain their principles and serve their constituencies. The only disadvantage in a coalition is that a person can easily sell the trust of the voters. This is what the IFP is refusing. We are in a learning curve. We are prepared to negotiate until we find a common ground, because in 2024, there is no one political party that will get 50% plus 1. Therefore, a coalition is bound to happen in 2024. As we are doing, having a coalition at a municipal level, we are learning a lot. And by the time 2024 elections come, we will have acquired good experience and trying to find a common ground between political parties who find themselves have to form a government. So now what happened between the IFP and and EFF is not something that will make us to cry, but we have learned, and I'm sure, as I heard yesterday, that Malema is now saying doors are open to the IFP. I'm sure he is seeing challenges with the ANC, because ANC is rejected by everybody in South Africa. Any political party who chooses to go to bed with the ANC is likely to meet the consequences in the elections next year. But in short, we are learning out of this coalition system as it is new, and we are going to do our best to try to navigate and strike a common ground for the good use of the coalition government to take South Africa forward and revive the remaining pieces of our country as it has been broken down by a failed political party, the ANC.
What do you say to people who say that, some of these coalitions are set up with one goal in mind, and that's to keep out the ANC, and not necessarily focused on service delivery and real issues affecting citizens on the ground? The president of the ANC says his party is going through a renewal process. Does that open the door for you that you could work with the ANC in the future if service delivery is your primary reason of being? Or, as some critics might say, all that these coalitions are about keeping out the ANC?
Mr. Ndoro, I will not agree that coalitions are only about taking out the ANC from power. The ANC is being rejected by the people of South Africa. The ANC is not going to recover from what it is. It will only give false hope on a renewal program to people of South Africa. But the truth, they should firstly deal with the recommendations by the Zondo Commission to demonstrate that really they are on a renewal program. They must deal with the Phala farm gate correctly, not to run away from making the president of the country to account to the nation of what actually happened at Phala. As long as they are not bold to deal with corruption and corrupt element within themselves, any coalition with the ANC will never result to any good fortunes for the people of South Africa. The IFP is willing to get into a coalition with the like-minded political parties who are opposed to corruption, who want to ensure that all resources are used for the benefit of our people. We are prepared to go an extra mile, even to talk to political parties with whom we have divergent views, like the EFF. On border issues we differ, on land issue we differ, but we agree that we serve a common constituency, predominantly black people. And we agree that black people at most deserve the best of service delivery as they were previously disadvantaged. That is why we entered into a coalition. Even the DA, we differ on certain issues, but we agree that let us expedite service delivery and focus to the previously disadvantaged communities. We are going to be talking to Action SA, the UDM, and all political parties who want to see change and who want to ensure that our country does not become a failed state, which has been done by the ANC, and the ANC does not have the ability to save our country from becoming a failed state.
All right, and perhaps very briefly, is there any room for a reconciliation with the EFF if they break up with the ANC?
The first thing which the EFF will have to do, they insulted us on Friday. If they want to get into an honest relationship again with the IFP, they will have to retract the insult they hailed to the IFP. We believe in coexistence of political parties with a common goal. We will open our doors once we are convinced that the EFF is now wanting to get into a coalition that is governed by principles of respecting each other, not bullying another political party because you think you are a bigger political party. By the way, the IFP is the third biggest political party that is involved in governing municipalities in South Africa, ANC number 1, DA number 2, and the IFP. So now, people must respect us, don't take it for granted and want to bully us. We are not going to allow anyone to bully us and want to force us to hand over Umhlatuze, while the people of Umhlatuze chose the IFP, and even now they are still celebrating that Umhlatuze is under the IFP. But in short, our doors will be open, but the EFF, once it wants to get into a serious engagement with the IFP, they will have to retract the insult they hailed to us on Friday.
All right. Mr. Hlabisa, we'll leave it there. Thank you very much indeed for joining us tonight.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ndoro, and the viewers of SABC.
Good night. All right, that's the president of the IFP, Velenkosini Hlabisa, saying that, yeah, it seems that all bets are off with the EFF in their coalition agreements that they had, but he's confident that the IFP will continue to run and control the municipalities as before. They might lose 2, but he's confident that in other conversations and the work they've done on the ground, then it will be business as usual for citizens in their municipalities.